Donald Trump has been pushing a GoFundMe for hurricane victims in the wake of Hurricane Helene. And wait until you find out the real deal behind this GoFundMe. So you can see the photos right here. He's been spreading it on True Social. So at the very least, not a lot of people will see the link because it's on True Social, but he is spreading it. And here's the deal with this support Hurricane Helene victims, Trump authorized. It is raising millions of dollars. But those millions of dollars maybe should have gone to something else. Here's the issue. They say that all donations will be directed to those most affected by the hurricane, but there is no mention of any specific charity that these funds will be directed to. And generally in this sort of situation, you'd say it's going to this, this, and this. This is how we're splitting it. That's where the money's gonna go. Here's the timeline. They're not doing it that way. There's no detailed plan for how any of the donations will be distributed or when they'll be distributed, or if they'll be distributed, literally at all. And the fundraiser is being organized by Meredith O'Rourke, Trump's quote, national finance director and senior advisor. So she's tied in with his finances. Now, one would think, okay, some of those details should be there, but they're not there. I'm sure they'll tell us at some point. But at the very least, Donald Trump is trying to help. He's putting his money where his big old mouth is. No. He's not listed as one of the top donors to the fundraiser. It's not like he seeded $1 million into this thing to get it going or anything. He sent a True Social post. He doesn't care about this. He's certainly not gonna put his money into it. And by the way, on top of that, remember I talked earlier in the show, he keeps sending out messages in the aftermath of the hurricane that he's delivering tons of relief aid to these communities. He goes and he does a little press conference and he says, I'm gonna bring all this stuff. He claimed that he brought truckloads of relief to Georgia. He was in Valdosta during a visit a couple of days ago, and he said, I'm gonna bring all this relief. Here are these truckloads. He didn't bring any of that stuff. An organization called Samaritan's Purse, who comes in the wake of the aftermath of these tragedies and brings relief aid, they brought the trucks. He just took credit for what an organization was already doing. He hasn't explained what, if anything, he or any of his PACs or his campaign has done other than tweet out a fundraiser where the money might never go to anyone actually affected by the hurricane. This is super shady, Adrienne. What do you think?
Oh, it's completely shady. And as we know, and as the New York Attorney General knows, that's generally how Trump's businesses operate, in a very shady way. And last time I checked, I'm not quite certain on this, despite having the whole legal angle, but generally you have to list the charity. You have to provide their information if you're going to be soliciting funds that you claim are for charitable purposes. And I would think that it goes against the GoFundMe services agreement guidelines or terms of service if that's not what is being done here. So there are just so many questions and not so many answers that kind of convey that this is probably just some kind of scam associated with Donald Trump.
Yeah, it feels like it could potentially be a scam. I wasn't familiar with the need to reveal that information. I'm glad that they have a policy like that. The issue is, if this is the Trump official GoFundMe, and it doesn't comply with GoFundMe's rules, then it might seem simple that then, oh, you take it down. Do you? Do you take down Donald Trump's Hurricane Helene fundraiser, knowing that if you do that, even if you're totally justified in doing that, every right winger in the country will boycott GoFundMe and you'll be attacked on Fox News and Donald Trump will say it's election interference and they'll say that you're trying to screw over the Republican victims of Hurricane Helene? Like, think about all of the fallout that would come from actually enforcing your terms of service. Again, I don't know if any of this is what's going on behind the scenes, but I can speculate. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?